Hello everyone, and I welcome all of you to Online Study for You, a complete placement solution. So friends, today in this video, me and Deepika is going to conduct a live mock demo interview, like how it will come in Infosys. So please watch the video till the end so that you will come to know what kind of questions you might get and what all questions will be framed from the resume and what all necessary things you have to keep for your interview. So welcome Deepika.
Hi, sir.
Yeah. So before we start the interview, can I have your ID card? Any ID
Sure.
proof?
Yes.
Great. Okay. So tell me about yourself.
Sure, sir. Thanks for that. So I'm a BTech graduate specialized in computer science from ABC College of Engineering, Kerala,
Mhm.
with aggregate percentage of 7.2 actually. And my HSC and SSC education was from ABC School, Kerala, with an aggregate percentage of 88 and 94 respectively. Now about my achievements, I was one among the finalists in Smart India Hackathon 2019 and 20 software edition, and I'm a district level web designer from 2013 onwards. And my technical skills includes hands-on experience on C, C++, Java, Python, SQL, HTML, CSS, JavaScript, and PHP. So now coming to about my strength, I always keep things organized, not to mess up with any of my activities so that I could hold extracurricular activities and make a markable achievements in the same along with my academic activities as well. So during the hackathon and academic projects that I have accomplished right now, I could very well contribute my maximum to my team, being a team player. And in some, I was the team lead as well. So, which I believe that I have did complete justice as a team leader, like coordinating all of my teammates and everything. And I strongly believe the ability to learn and unlearn things are the best strengths that an individual that everyone should have, and I've been practicing this till date. Now, concluding with my hobbies, which is the most important part of our life, like when I feel exhausted or frustrated, it's common with the humans. So I feel this have helped me a lot to strike back hard. So my hobbies includes artworks, reading articles, books, practice sessions on classical dance, since I'm a classical trained dancer. So that is a pretty good brief about myself, sir. Thank you.
Oh, that's great. So there are a lot of things about your achievements. Okay. So I have your resume here, and I could see your marks are continuously decreasing. So you scored very well in SLC, so around 94%. But in HSC, your marks is 88%, and in graduation, I could see the marks is still lower than your HSC. So may I know the reason for that?
Sure, sir. So till my SSC education, I was only concentrating on my academics. So thereafter, I started like this is not only me myself at this they pick up. So I started exploring myself in different ways. So maybe it's I have been partitioning my everything, my time and everything. But I strongly believe that it haven't affected my academic activities much. To an extent, only it have been. So that's why I could participate in so much of the competitions, both in technical and non-technical, extracurricular activities, everything. So if I couldn't gain marks
Mhm.
so well when compared to, I have cope up with all my other activities as well, sir.
Okay. Can you tell me about your project and what was your role in that? So I need end to end, like what you had, what was the project and what was your role in that?
Sure, sure. So, coming to my projects, I have taken care of three projects during my graduation. One was the Smart India
Mhm.
Hackathon, and one was my two projects in my graduation, that is academic projects itself. So, start me about the hackathon project. It was a topic given by themselves. It is a portal
Mhm.
for the Andhra Pradesh government and for the research
Mhm.
project kind of things. And
Mhm.
my second project was my academic project, which is the first graduation project that I did. It's basically a Medico name. I mean, its name is Medico. It's a
Mhm.
e-commerce system for the pharmaceutical things. You can book appointments for the doctors, and you can get the medicines through online. This is one thing that we have did. And in third project was relevant to our present scenario regarding the pandemic. It's a COVID related application, which is meant for social distancing. So everything related to COVID updates and booking the vaccine test and everything came up to single roof. That what we meant and employed in the project. So in these three projects, like
Mhm.
two projects, I've been the team lead as well. So this is all about my project, sir.
Okay, great. So the COVID social distancing project is like more to, it will protect the spreading the COVID and to protect the human as well. Okay.
Yes.
So can I know what was your role in that, like which language or maybe the which application you used for that?
Yes, sir. So my final year project was on the COVID. That was the recent project that I did. In that, I used Java. I was handling the Java part in that. So remaining all things was a website. Also, HTML was the main thing that I've used in that.
Okay. So what is your favorite programming language or which you're more confident of?
Since I've did my project as well as and I've been more only concentrating on Java, that is what I'm confident on.
Great. Okay, so we'll have some question from Java. So how many types of memory areas allocated by JVM?
So it is heap, stack, then class is there, then native
Mhm.
system. Yeah, that's it.
Okay. What is the advantage of round robin scheduling?
It's basically starvation free. That is, every process will be executed. CPU will be having the fixed interval of time for the same.
Okay, so can you write the logic for that and can you show it to me?
The programming on algo part.
Yes, I mean just the logic. So it may
Okay.
not be like the complete program. So you can logic will work out.
Okay, sir. Just give me a minute.
Sure.
Sir, the code part is ready. Can I show them?
Yeah, you can share your screen.
Okay.
Yeah, it is visible. Okay. Okay, great. So you can stop sharing. Okay, so what are the pillars of object-oriented programming? So what are the how many pillars are there and what are the pillars of OOPS?
So the pillars are class, object, polymorphism, inheritance. Um,
Okay,
yes, that's it.
okay. What is overloading and overriding? So can you tell the
Okay.
exact, I mean, difference between them?
Yeah. So coming to overloading, it's two methods with the same name but different properties. But coming to overriding, it's the same. I mean, both the name and properties will be same, and it will be parent class and child class respectively.
Okay. What is ORA?
Ora. So it is WRA, that is the work only, write only, read anywhere. So you can write the code anywhere and read it anywhere. Write the code and read it only.
Okay. When a percent method can be used?
Uh, sir, sorry, sir, I don't know the answer for the same.
Okay. So this is a question from your technical interview. So basically technical and HR both is combined. So we will also have some HR questions with you. So there are a lot of companies, the MNC IT companies are there, but why do you want to join Infosys?
Infosys is such a company that gives a great exposure to the upcoming students. So the work-life balance of that and the opportunities that freshers that get into the Infosys to learn about the things have inspired me a lot to get into Infosys. So this is the pretty thing that I have found Infosys opportunity very important to me.
Then you must be knowing about Infosys. So who is the MD and CEO of Infosys?
It's Salil Parekh.
Yes, it is correct. And where is the headquarter of Infosys?
In India, it's Bangalore.
Okay. And if we hire you, so will you be able to relocate?
Sure, I'll be.
So any question for me?
Sure, sir. I have a couple of questions that what do the daily responsibilities of the roles that have assigned to will be looking like?
Okay, so it totally depends upon the project you get in. So based on the requirement. So if we'll talk about the day-to-day activities, so we have testing, we have development, and we have automation. So definitely, wherever you are, the quality of the product, like what Infosys mainly focus on. So you will be working with either the development team or the testing team or the automation team. So you will be going through the trainings in the beginning, and based on your skills and knowledge, so you will be in the certain domains. And definitely there are a lot of new things which we are working on. It's artificial intelligence, machine learning, and you will be the part of these things. And there'll be a lot of learning and growth. So that Infosys ensures with each of the student.
So I have the last question from my part. That is, where will I be located if I get selected?
Okay, so that we cannot ensure you like where you will be located. So it totally depends upon the requirement. So suppose if we get a project and that is in Mumbai, uh, and their requirement is there, so you'll be located to Mumbai. If we get any project near to your place, Andhra Pradesh or Hyderabad, so you will be located there. So it totally based on the requirement and I mean the project. So that you'll have to wait it. So thank you, and you will be getting the further information from our HR team. So please wait for that. So our HR team will get in contact with you.
Sure, sir. Thank you. Have a great day, sir.
Yeah, same to you. Okay, guys. So we are done with the interview, and this is how your interview will happen. So maybe like for 10 to 15 minutes. So now we will tell you like what all things you need to take care before you go for the interview, and how you have to be during the interview. So the first thing, you have to keep your ID card with you. So in many cases we feel when the interviewer asks for the ID card, then the student, I mean, no, you guys do not go through the emails and all, and then you miss it. So that will be your first impression. And if you say, sir, I did not know about that, I need to get it, so definitely that will be not a very good impression. So that is one point which I wanted to tell everyone, because this is a mistake which had been done by a lot of a student.
Sure,
And
sir.
then the first,
Sir, I would like to
yeah,
interrupt in between to get one point done. So that is when you show the, I don't know whether you noticed me showing the ID card. So I just hold a cupboard using my hand. So that is one of the mistake that you would do. You have to show it correctly, like your institute name, your name, your photo will be there. You have to hold like this and show near to the camera, not like this. You have to hold it near.
true,
So
true,
first,
true.
yeah. So first thing that you will be asking regarding this. So if you give this right, then the first impression is done. So always the first impression is the best impression. So go for that.
Okay, correct. And then the second question was, tell me about yourself. So definitely I was very much convinced with your answer as an interviewer, but your self introduction was quite long.
Mhm.
So that definitely see, because we have done some mistake, and we are trying to tell you that so that you don't repeat in the interview. So I felt that yes, your introduction was quite long, and maybe like most of the information was also available in your resume, which I have. So that was the second point in tell me about yourself. You want to add something here?
Yeah, just to, as you said itself, just you have to hold it between 1 minute, 1 to 2 minutes hardly. If you may have so much things to go, so don't worry, all your things will be heard by the interviewer. They have the resume with you, so don't worry on that. Just make the main points that you have to include. That's all.
And then the next question was your marks is continuously decreasing. So your answer was convincing. I mean, you had because you have done a lot of things like hackathon, and you were participating in a lot of projects. So and your hobbies. So all those things shows that you have done some extracurricular activity, and that will definitely somewhere it will manage with your marks. So your answer was convincing. And if somebody does not have done anything and still their marks are continuously decreasing, so you can also take the help of somebody was not well at your home and you had to take care of that. So this is when on the ground of medical reasons you will be able to compensate that.
Yeah, so when you're making that
Yes.
kind of excuse, then at the end you have to mention like, even I was on that hard time, it have influenced my academics, but still I managed to make up nearing to that, not to have a great negative impact. So you just conclude it positively. Like if you have scored 90 and you could only scored 85 next time, it is a genuine. You should show like it is a small decrease that have happened when comparing to my condition. That was a greater thing that I have achieved. So we have to show it positively.
True, true. Correct. And about your project and your role, so that was also seems convincing. But what I felt is you could have little bit more elaborated
Yes.
then. Okay, so that is one thing which I could feel, but yeah, it was again convincing. So nothing more, because if an interviewer wants, he will dig more into that, and then he will ask more and more question based on that, and that is what triggered me for knowing like what you have done in this COVID, that your project and how it is helping people to make the social distance, and what was your role in that. So that is what triggered me to get one more question from that. And then programming language. So yes, so you are not able to answer one question. So it doesn't matter if you don't answer one or two question in the interview, because nobody will be knowing each and everything. So if you don't answer one or two question, then that's fine. But if you don't know something, you directly tell, sorry sir, I don't know about this. uh, and do not try to give some false answers, or something. You do not try to drag him, just like giving some wrong answers and all. It will give you a negative impact on that. So
Yeah.
if you don't
So
know something, yes.
yes, yes. In this part, I would like to mention, because most of the three, four questions that Savar asked me, I couldn't make complete. Only one or two questions that I completed confidently. If you notice or not, I don't know. You could notice that. So first question, if they ask, there are some more things that I should add. In between, I said, yeah, that's all. This is not the way you should speak. Like if you know the full answer, make it. If you know the partial answer, you can say like, I remember like 2, 3 points of the same. So these are the things. So I break in that between. I just mentioned 2, 3, and I've sorry. So that is not the right way to go. This is the right way you have to do. And I said in the last question, like I don't know the answer, but one more thing that you have to say is, I'll get back to you. As sir mentioned, you have to say in the positive way. So that I haven't mentioned. So that is one of the drawback which I've did. And one more, the other thing is, if they asked about the pillars of how much pillars and the pillars of polymorphism, I mentioned only 3, 4 things. That too, I took a pause and said only this much. So if you are not sure with any of the things, you just tell the correct thing that you know and just mention this is up to the knowledge that I'm having right now. So it is
Yes.
in even come to technical things, most of the things you will not be knowing. So you can properly exhibit in a positive say, so that won't affect your marks. I mean, performance rate as in general.
True. And one more thing, whatever you are explaining, there was no real life examples associated with that. So even though, okay, so we could feel, okay, you know something and you were answering, but yes, so it was not very much satisfying for any interviewer. So whenever we answer, we try to give some real life example. So that will be a little better. So if you can, you can add some examples like, okay, this I had done with this I had used it. So whatever, like either it is pillars or hopes or any kind of memory areas, whatever questions we had discussed, and overloading and overriding. So everywhere a real life example. See, if you are adding examples, then the number of questions from the interviewer will reduce, because it will automatically keep going. You have only 10 to 15 minutes, so they cannot drag it for half an hour and all. So that is one more points we can add over there.
Sure.
And the remaining things, if we'll talk about the eye contact, so you had a eye contact throughout the interview, so that is again a positive point. And your communication skill, definitely. So I did not feel any time like you are kind of nervous or you are afraid, so that kind of things I did not notice. So that is one good thing. And maybe your dressing sense, that is also fine. That is what a girl should wear in the interview. So we should not go with the t-shirts, or maybe like the hair and all. So we can keep that in mind. uh, so I think that's all. So there's many things if you take care. So see, the main thing is the confidence that you have to keep with you. And throughout the interview, if you are smiling, which was also there with you, so then it will, see, all those things will, small things will put a positive impact on the interviewer. And then definitely you will be like very near to the selection.
Yeah.
So thank you, Deepika, for performing this. And definitely this is going to help a lot of a student to understand like how they have to behave in interview, what all things they should prepare, and how they have to act in the interview. So all those things are very, very important. And even the questions what we covered, so this kind of questions are like overriding, overloading. These are the general questions which will be asked in interview.
Yeah, sure. So, friends, I would like to mention something. The mistakes that I've made in my interview session right now is the common mistakes that every student will make out of panic. If you don't know the answer, we'll get panic. So that is the main thing. So I would like to point out the mistake and rectify it. So you make sure that how you perform. Take a mock interview like you alone and know like how you perform an interview. Then you stand for the interview. Okay. So on a sudden day, I can understand like everyone will be having the same issue. On a fine day, when you start an interview for the first time, you'll be having panic, but don't worry, it will get through. You have to be confident, you have to very good, and you have to convey the message that you are trying to convey in a good communication sense and in a good manner. So if you made any mistake or if you couldn't answer the questions well in the technical round too, you will be getting a laugh at the end of the day when they take the whole, I mean, what are the students that have been attended the interview and whom we should select, your picture will be there with them. So this is how you have to make positively with all the flaws that you're having. So mistakes are common, so you have to show it in a right way. That's the thing that we can do.
True. And if you guys like this interview, and if you wanted more interviews, then you can definitely put in the comment box. So we will definitely make more and more videos which will help you to get into Infosys. So thank you everyone. So here we are ending the session.
Thank you.